this man insulted the most powerful emperor in history to his face, owned nothing but a cloak and a walking stick, and yet called himself the happiest person alive. Meanwhile, we're scrolling Instagram at him wondering why we feel empty despite having everything. What did Diogenes know that we don't? Turns out, he discovered something modern neuroscience is just catching up to. Picture this: you're Alexander the Great, you've conquered half the known world, you have unlimited power, and you stumble across this weird guy sunbathing in the street. You offer him anything he wants: gold, land, slaves, and he tells you to move because you're blocking his light, that weird guy. Diogenes of Sinope, and his response wasn't just legendary sass, it was the key to something we've completely lost. See, while Alexander was busy collecting empires, Diogenes was busy collecting nothing, literally nothing. He threw away his cup when he saw a kid drinking from his hands. He lived in a barrel. He owned less than most homeless people today. And here's the kicker: he was genuinely happy. Not fake it till you make it happy. Not Instagram post happy. Actually, deeply content. But before we dive into his secret, let me tell you how extreme this guy really was. Diogenes didn't just live simply, he lived like he was conducting the world's most radical psychology experiment. He ate raw meat, slept in public, and literally carried a lamp around Athens in broad daylight claiming he was looking for an honest man. When people called him crazy, he'd respond with something like the mob is the mother of tyrants, basically telling them that following the crowd was the real insanity. This wasn't just ancient trolling, this was systematic deprogramming of social conditioning. Now here's what's actually happening. Diogenes figured out that desire is a trap. Every time you get something you want, your brain immediately recalibrates and finds something new to want. It's called hedonic adaptation, and it's why lottery winners aren't happier than anyone else after a year. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think the solution is to get better at getting things: faster manifestation, better goal setting, more efficient hustling. That's like trying to win a rigged game by playing harder. Diogenes saw the game itself was the problem. Think about your last major purchase. Remember that excitement before you bought it? That feeling of once I have this, I'll be satisfied. And then remember 3 weeks later when it felt normal, just another thing you owned. That's your dopamine system doing exactly what it evolved to do, keeping you perpetually unsatisfied so you'll keep seeking. But wait, if getting stuff doesn't make us happy, what does? Diogenes discovered something radical. The void itself is the answer, not filling the void, embracing it. He called it autarkia, complete self-sufficiency, not needing anything or anyone to be okay. Now I know what you're thinking. Great, so I should become homeless and live in a barrel. Not exactly. Diogenes was demonstrating an extreme to make a point. It's like how comedians use exaggeration to reveal truth. He was showing us what's possible when you completely detach from the acquisition game. Think about it like this: imagine your happiness as a bucket with holes in it. Most people spend their entire lives frantically pouring water in the top, trying to keep it full. Buy this course, get this relationship, achieve this goal, buy this house, get this promotion, pour, pour, pour. Diogenes said screw the bucket and learned to be thirsty without suffering. Modern psychology calls this psychological flexibility, the ability to experience discomfort without immediately trying to escape it. When you stop running from the void, something weird happens. It stops chasing you. But here's the part that blew my mind. Diogenes wasn't just philosophizing, he was literally rewiring his brain. Through practice, every time he chose not to want something, every time he sat with discomfort instead of trying to fix it, he was strengthening his psychological immune system. Neuroscientists today call this experiential avoidance reversal. When you stop avoiding negative emotions and sensations, your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, starts to chill out. It learns that discomfort isn't dangerous. But here's where it gets really interesting. Diogenes wasn't just some ancient minimalist influencer. He was conducting a live experiment in human psychology that we're only now understanding through neuroscience. When you stop trying to acquire things to make yourself happy, your prefrontal cortex literally rewires itself. The neural pathways associated with craving and comparison start to weaken. Meanwhile, the pathways associated with contentment and present moment awareness get stronger. You become what researchers call psychologically antifragile, not just resilient to stress, but actually getting stronger from it. Here's a perfect example. Diogenes once got captured by pirates and sold into slavery. His response: he told his potential buyers that he was good at governing people and asked if anyone needed a master. The guy literally turned slavery into a job interview. That's not just confidence, that's complete internal freedom. After finally understanding why Diogenes could tell the most powerful man in the world to buzz off, I started wondering, what would happen if we actually tried this? Turns out, there's a reason meditation retreats, digital detoxes, and minimalism are exploding right now. We're all unconsciously trying to get back to what Diogenes figured out 2,400 years ago. But here's where most modern approaches miss the mark. They focus on the external, having fewer possessions, spending less money. Decluttering your space, that's like treating the symptom instead of the disease. Diogenes went straight to the source, the wanting itself. He practiced what modern therapists call urge surfing, feeling the craving without acting on it. When he felt hungry, sometimes he'd eat, sometimes he wouldn't. When he felt cold, sometimes he'd seek warmth, sometimes he'd just be cold. He was training his brain to understand that feelings aren't commands. This is where the magic happens. Most of us live like we're slaves to our own impulses. We feel anxious, we scroll our phones, we feel bored, we buy something, we feel lonely, we seek validation. We're basically sophisticated stimulus response machines. Diogenes broke the chain between feeling and action. He proved that you can feel something without being controlled by it. Now imagine applying this to your daily life, that urge to check your phone every 5 minutes. You can feel it without acting on it, that anxiety about what others think of you. You can experience it without letting it control your behavior, that emptiness that makes you want to buy something new. You can sit with it instead of feeding it. The secret isn't having less stuff, it's wanting less stuff, and the fastest way to want less. Stop believing that getting more will save you. But here's the plot twist that even most philosophy students miss. Diogenes wasn't promoting suffering for suffering's sake. He was incredibly hedonistic, he just redefined pleasure. Instead of pursuing the temporary high of acquisition, he found joy in simple things that couldn't be taken away: sunlight on his skin, the satisfaction of a clever comeback, the freedom to go wherever he wanted without worrying about possessions. He basically discovered that the highest pleasure comes from having the lowest needs. So yeah, now you know why a homeless philosopher was happier than an emperor who owned the world. You're welcome. That ancient barrel-dwelling weirdo basically invented cognitive behavioral therapy before psychology was even a thing. If you want more on how ancient philosophy predicted modern mental health breakthroughs, this video right here breaks down how the Stoics accidentally created the blueprint for treating anxiety disorders.